Anything else?
Nothing comes to mind, no.
Yeah, I mean, getting an RV would have been helpful instead of the Impala.
Let me just check my notes and make sure we're not missing anything, because I feel like this episode in particular, there was like so much about. Oh, we kind of already talked about how like John isolated them and stuff as well, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like didn't tell them about literally fucking anything.
Literally the worst.
But also, we do get introduced to Bella this episode, and her entire plot line is like cool CPS instead of a Crossroads demon.
We'll talk about it when we get like that reveal, whatever episode that is, because
it's close to the end of the season, I think.
It is.
I think we covered everything already that I had about John.
Yeah. We just hate him. And Bobby should have just finished the job.
Yeah.
I mean, Bobby should have called CPS. Like, is the other thing. Like, Bobby, you should have,
yeah.
Or you should have gone through it.
I reckon Bobby should have just shot John, buried him in the backyard. Yeah. No one's going to look through Bobby's backyard.
It would have been just safer to shoot him, because if they took his kids away from him, he's going to hunt them down, because it sucks.
The firing squad, which is people who did not perform their job duties: police, security guards, public servants, customer service, retail. I mean,
I feel like everyone did an okay job.
The Biggersons manager, Biggersons host, did his job with enthusiasm, which is, perfect.
Although I do wonder if maybe they should have gotten some kind of consent before putting their image on the website.
Yeah, that was a little bit. I mean, and their social media manager, jumped to put their vote on. I mean, Sam very clearly did not want his photo taken at all.
Yeah, they should have first asked about that, and then second of all, should have gotten some kind of signed waiver saying, yes, you can use my face on your...
Yeah, because this is even 2007, before privacy was dead.
Yeah, they're currently on the run from the FBI. Yeah. And, they're, I mean, it's not just, Gordon's, friends. The FBI is actively looking for
Henriksen's on his laptop, hang on a minute.
They just updated the restaurant that I love.
I wish now that we had a scene where Henriksen, stumbled across that image completely by accident. He's just, going about his day.
On his pin-up board.
Sam's luck so bad that Henriksen could have, accidentally clicked on an ad for Biggersons or something at that time.
Yeah.
And seen Sam as well.
The same thing that happened with Kubrick and Creepy. My brain was saying creepy, but that's just how it looks.
No, it actually turns out Henriksen's a loyalty member. He gets push notifications for every time Biggersons releases news, and it just pops up on his phone.
This is where I drown my sorrows of all my divorces.
I don't think push notifications existed in 2007. But you know what this episode really needs? It needed an end credit scene. A Henriksen finds the Biggerson site end credit scene.
Yes, that would have been so fucking funny.
That doesn't exist.
I'm just imagining it popping up on his laptop, and he walks past with a mug or something, and then he just goes back. Wait,
Once again, we're proving ourselves better at marketing Supernatural than Supernatural is.
They should have consulted us.
But it's fine. I guess the only person who I'd say really did not do a good job was Wayne and Grossman, the thieves that Bella hired. I know she hired some cheap thieves to get her $1.5 million items so she could maximize her profit margin, but sometimes it's worth the extra money for a better thief, because Sam and Dean tracked them down in 3 seconds.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I have another person who did not do their job. John Winchester.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, he did.
If he just fucking destroyed the rabbit's foot, just ask Bobby, hey, how do we destroy this thing?
Yeah, they could have, also Bobby also could have, followed up a little bit better on that. He could have, just brought it up every once in a while to make sure it got done. I know he has his own things to do. He's not John's, parent, but,
he might as well be at this point.
He was definitely John's, supervising officer for a bit in the hunting
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, actually.
Until John, quit.
Yeah.
Do you think part of the reason was because Bobby had too higher expectations for John?
I very much think that their argument, that their thing is very rooted in Bobby being a better parent to the kids.
Yeah.
And do you think it also was because Bobby's a better hunter? John's insecure about how he is as a hunter? So it's partially that Bobby's just better than John in every way?
I feel like Bobby and John kind of met when John was just starting out. He was there to learn from Bobby. But I can see I can see John's progress plateauing and him getting frustrated that he's not as good as Bobby.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to be as good as Bobby.
It's a mental health check. I'm not a psychologist. This segment is based purely on my own opinions, and a weekly reminder that if you're struggling with anything else, please reach out for help. This week, how do we feel about mental health? I didn't write any notes on it, so Gene wasn't actively reminding us that he's gonna die, so that's very refreshing compared to the last 2 episodes
and the rest of the season.
Yeah, this is like a very much comic relief sort of episode.
He has been bringing it up every 5 minutes for the last 2 episodes. It's been very hard on my soul.
I think, there's an obvious point of tension, like the very start of the episode, like Sam and Dean are having that like fighting match about Ruby and stuff. So I feel like they kind of got distracted by the whole rabbit split thing. They kind of pin in that. But I feel like that's definitely something that's like eating away at them.
Under the surface.
Also, can we just talk about how traumatic some of this fucking shit is?
Yeah.
Like, not even necessarily for like Sam and Dean, but for like the original beef partnership. Like the dude that survived. How fucking traumatizing is this entire string of events?
Oh yeah, we chatted about him a second ago.
In retrospect, I'm actually really shocked that Sam didn't like try a pitch that they like meet up with the demon that has Dean's contract while they had the rabbits, but I'm shocked that that wasn't an argument.
Oh yeah.
Sam didn't immediately try to use this rabbit's foot to save Dean, which is out of character for season 3.
I think if this episode had been placed later in the season, he absolutely
would have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, they weren't desperate enough, though.
Yeah, not quite.
Bobby's definitely suffering from some workplace stress and burnout.
Yeah.
The Winchesters are just like horny and stupid, I think, in this one, for the most part.
We gotta say it though, Bella's mental health is fantastic.
Oh,
she's just really out here doing the most.
Well, she has all of the things that the Winchesters lack in terms of self-worth and
money and a healthy work-life balance, stability.
Yeah, a cat.
Yeah.
That's a very good thing on top. Like, Bella really is, like, indulging in the self-care that she needs. I love Bella so much. We have a whole episode planned where we're gonna talk about Bella as, like, an arc, like, as, like, including and, like, beyond the episodes and, like, what, like, role she plays as a person. Because I did not like Bella the first time I watched Supernatural. Like,
I liked her, but I didn't appreciate her enough.
Yeah, I'm like, now I'm, like, really, like, I have all of the respect for Bella, and I think that they very much, like, underused her character, and, like, there's so much.
Yeah.
I wish that they had gone in and, like, added stuff, but I'm so excited that she's here. Like, we're into the arc, we're into her character.
Yeah.
The soul transactions, there were none. Sam's traumatic brain injury, 1, it was self-inflicted. He knocked himself out putting out his arm that was on fire. He almost got knocked out a second time, but just 1, so we're good for that. Name that episode. So we're trying to name the episodes like their titles of Friends episodes, so like the one with this thing or the one where this thing happens. So if you have any suggestions for things you could call this one, I have a suggestion, but I don't always have one.
Like there's a couple that are like super on the nose. Like you could literally just say the one with the rabbit's foot, but that feels like too,
Yeah.
The one with the Jesus memorabilia. I feel like
The one where Sam lost his shoe.
Oh yeah, the one with the shoe.
Oh yeah.
Or the one without the shoe.
The one where Bella trounces them.
That's pretty much every episode that they're in where Bella is also present. Like,
it's true. When they're not like actively working together.
Yeah, she does have a way of, even when they are working together, she still finds a way to screw them over.
We love that about her.
I went for like the comedic route, because that is where I tend to go. And I said, the one where Sam has a horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day. But that doesn't mean that'll be the final one. It really is up to Ed and KJ later to like pick one. To finish off this week's episode, we have line of the week
and the mythology section.
Oh yeah, mythology. I don't know why I don't have mythology in my notes.
Let's do line of the week first, maybe, or if you want.
No, let's do mythology. I want to do mythology.
Great, because I don't have a ton, so it won't be very long. Okay, so I guess the monster we're calling it this week was a rabbit's foot, and it's a common good luck charm in many parts of the world. It comes from possibly hoodoo, which is what they used in this episode. So there's a lot of folk magic involved. It also has a possible connection to another good luck charm called a Hand of Glory, and I'm mentioning that because of one of the other episodes that Bella is in, because there's a Hand of Glory there. So there's lots of differing beliefs about the circumstances surrounding the rabbit's foot. There are different types of rabbits, when or how it's killed, which foot. Very common with folk beliefs like this. There's a lot of variation.
Yeah, Sam mentions the specific circumstances needed in the supernatural universe, which is killed in a cemetery on a full moon on a Friday the 13th.
Yeah, and all 3 of those were actually mentioned. So it's most commonly has to be like the left hind foot of a rabbit killed in a cemetery.
It had to be a very specific foot.
Yeah, well, not always. Like, it is a folk belief, so it just depends on like which version you've been told. But
I didn't know there was a preference.
Most common is the left one. I feel very targeted as a left-handed person.
I was going to say, wait, like the person's left or the rabbit's left? Like which POV? Because that depends.
The rabbits.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. Killed in a cemetery, killed on the night of the new moon or the full moon, depending, on a Friday, or Friday the 13th, or just a Friday where it's raining. You know, apparently it's special if it's raining.
All right.
You can
So they really said
tell.
all of winter.
Yeah.
And in some other versions, you have to kill the rabbit with a silver bullet.
It's also like
that's
very much like
specific.
you have to know what the moon's doing, but like it also might have to be raining. So like there's gonna be cloud cover, so you gotta like.
But
Just
like
to be
also,
safe.
how do you make sure there's a rabbit there? Are they like putting out like rabbit food or something so the rabbit will be like
Trail of carrots.
I mean, some rabbits like to run around at night.
That's true.
There's also a connection with legends of witches. Apparently, witches commonly transformed into rabbits in this particular folk tradition. So this is an animal that they're associated with. Some sources imply that the foot should come from a shape-shifted witch, or the foot can come from a regular rabbit as a substitute for a body part from a witch. I'm
Body
not
part
sure.
from a witch does make more sense for magical charm.
It does, yeah. Or, just use this animal because this is a witch's animal.
It's better than like cut the foot off of a woman.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be more suspicious to be carrying around a mummified human foot than it is to carry around like the little fluffy.
I imagine you're a witch though. Sorry, I'm gonna derail this just a tiny bit. Okay, so you're a witch, right? And you have a friend who's into hoodoo, right? And you're like, let's make a lucky rabbit's foot. I'm gonna transform into a rabbit. You cut off my foot, and then I'll transfer back and then just not have a foot. Like imagine if you were like in cahoots.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't be. I'm just gonna go out and say that. Like, so this is my aunt. I hate her. Let's cut off her foot.
That might be the end of the friendship right there. When the foot coming off.
Yes, definitely. Anyway, I'm not sure how old the superstition around the rabbit's foot is, but if the origins are from hoodoo or African American, could have come to North America with the advent of the Atlantic slave trade in the 16th, 17th centuries or thereabouts, because that's when we got a lot of African beliefs in North America, shockingly.
Yeah, totally unclear why that would happen.
Can't see a possible cause at all.
No, definitely not. Alright, and I'm going to conclude with a very funny quote I found by R.E. Shea, a man I've never heard of before. So, depend on the rabbit's foot if you will, but remember it didn't work for the rabbit. And that's it.
Yeah, it was in my notes to give you before, and it got lost between Becca Fested, highlight and Lily. So
That's okay.
You reminded me.
We were very busy.
Line of the week, and let's start with Meredith.
Okay. Line of the week is I'm Batman.
Very good.
Just his delivery was very funny.
Beth, do you have a line of the week?
Yeah, it's the part where Sam spills the coffee on himself and he goes, oh, jeez.
Jamie, how about you?
It's gotta be this son of a bitch at the end of the episode. Like even Jared couldn't hold it together. Like
mine is Dean's post-it note, his little turnaround post-it note, and then you forgot your tip.
Yeah.
Okay, now what do we do? How do we end this? It's not my podcast, except for that it is. It's not like I've done it 60 times. Anyway, Meredith, where can people find you for more content?
Definitely not with a rabbit's foot. You can find me on Tumblr, Instagram, and TikTok sometimes as Shades of Dayanira. And if you go there, you'll see lots of really cool artwork for the fantasy series I'm writing.
And Beth, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Beth from the Pod, or you can find all of me and Jamie on our social medias at basically we're a Driver Picks Pod or Driver Picks the Podcast on everything.
Excellent. Very easy to remember.
Yeah.
Jamie, where can people specifically find you?
so obviously exact same podcast as
Yep.
Bethany. So you can find me literally anywhere that you find Bethany. I on our main Twitter for the podcast quite a bit, but I do have my own personal Twitter that's called Jamie from the Pod.
We're matchy, so it works
Yes.
well. It's easy to remember.
You're well-branded. You thought that out.
And if you want to listen to us talk about any episode of Supernatural for like an hour and a bit, we have a podcast that you can listen to, I guess.
Yeah, you guys are on season 4 now, so very exciting. Next week, we are going to be talking about season 3, episode 4, Sin City. And that'll be fun because I have no memory of it, so I'm excited to watch it. It has been completely erased from my memory.
Enjoy not remembering that episode.
This was one of the ones I also didn't remember because it was the first one I fell asleep in.
Oh no!
So
Season 3 is literally a black hole. It's like,
Mystery Spot, Ghost
Mystery Spot,
Faces,
Ghost Faces.
Bad Air, Black Hawk, everything else is like, didn't happen.
yeah, a little bit from the last episode of the season. And that's it, yeah, it's really
The
all
last
gone
5 minutes
for me.
of No Rest for the Wicked.
yeah.
Yeah, it really is just like gone. So it's very fun to go back this season. But yeah, next week, Sin City, good times.
I've been KJ, and this has been Supernatural Opinions. If you enjoyed our show, the best thing you can do is subscribe on your podcast app of choice and tell a friend. Check out our link tree tree in the episode description for all of our social media and any other supernatural related projects we might be working on. Send us an email. Our address is